Hey guys, welcome to lesson 2 for music. Alright, so last time we looked at rhythms. So we had a look at all the different rhythms, our whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes. And we saw how those rhythms work in a song. So just to give you a practical example, you have a song, you have a verse, the rhythm is quarter notes. Then your chorus is eighth notes, that kind of thing. All right. So we had a look at that last time, and we saw how we use rhythms within music. All right. Now, similarly today, we're gonna have a look at melody and also how that functions within a song and within music. All right. So you can see there's a little board there with a few things written down, and I'm going to chat about that today. Alright, so when we talk about melody, what we mean is if you were to think of a melody, it might be something that a vocalist sings, or a little line that a guitar plays, or that kind of thing. So when you have somebody singing a song, they're singing a melody. Alright, so we're going to have a look at how notes work and how notes create melodies, and also how notes create what are called chords. So the difference between a melody and chords would be that a melody is a bunch of notes played together. So if I were to play, let's say, that's a melody. All right, so that was like just a little example of a melody. What a chord would be is when you play a bunch of notes together. So that's a chord. All right. So it's very important to just understand the difference there. But we'll have a look at both of those today within our lesson. Okay, so first things first though. We're going to have a look at something called the major scale. Alright, so major scale is a group of notes that are put together, and it's kind of the building blocks of music. It really helps you to understand how music works and how you can put certain chords in a song, and they will all work together. Alright, so major scale. Now, if we look at our major scale there, we'll see that we have a group of 7 notes. All right. We've got C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Now, and those 7 notes come together to form what is called a major scale. So if I play those together, it'll sound something like this. All right, so those are your 7 notes in the major scale. Now, usually what we do with the major scale is we end it on that note. Now, it's important to note that note there is also a C. It's the same as the first note we began with, and that is called an octave. So, all right, that gives you a major scale. If we name the notes, it would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C at the end again. Same as the first note, the octave. All right. So what we use the major scale for is to create melodies and little lines and little ideas within a song. All right, so you could have a song with the chords of C, D, and G, or C, D minor, and G, and then somebody could be playing those chords along, and somebody else would then play a melody over that. Or you could have a vocalist singing over that. Alright, so that's the idea behind a major scale. Now we can take the major scale one step further and figure out how we can add certain chords into a song. Alright, and all of this is also just related to what are called key signatures or keys. So in a song you get different keys. So you get the key of C, you get the key of D, you get the key of G, for instance. Those kind of things. Now, we're not going to go into detail because that's beyond the scope of this lesson. We will talk about keys and key signatures in the future, but that's not for this lesson now. For all you need to know for this lesson is we're in the key of C. And in the key of C, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Those are the notes we find in that key. All right. Now, the chords we find in the key are also important because not all chords work together really nicely. So you have to know what chords you can use in a specific key. Alright, so in the key of C, if we take our major scale and we go C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, you can actually see at the bottom there. Now I've written out the chords there already, but if you take it just the beginning note there, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, see it's related to the major scale that I've written out. Alright, now there's a little chord formula over here. that we call the Nashville number system, or just some people call it the numeric system or the number system. All right, now that little formula is really, really handy because what it does is it tells you what chords you can use in a specific key. Now, some of you know about Roman numerals, some of you don't. All right, so these little numbers here are called Roman numerals. Don't stress about it too much. I'll explain exactly what they all mean now. If you haven't seen it before, don't get freaked out by it or anything. All right, so we have between 1 and 7, just like we do with our major scale. All right, so our numbers are 1, that's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 at the end there. Now, what you'll notice with Roman numerals, it's almost like the alphabet. You have uppercase and lowercase, or capitals, and then just regular letters. So what's happening here is all the uppercase Roman numerals are major chords, and all the lowercase ones are called minor chords. This one at the end there with the circle, the 7, is called a diminished chord. All right, so major chords, minor chords, and then you have your diminished chord as well. Now, just quickly, the difference between a major and a minor chord really are, if we get into the theory of it, it would be you make the third of the chord a minor. But that's, nobody's going to understand that now because we haven't discussed that yet. We'll discuss how chords are made as well in a future lesson. All you need to know for now is a major chord, if we take a D major, has quite a happy sound. Whereas a minor chord, if we take D minor, has a bit of a sad sound. So that's D minor, D major, D minor. All right. So that's the difference between major and minor chords in a nutshell. Okay, now, obviously, as you guys can see, some of the chords are major and minor. Now, we have C major, because it's uppercase. The lowercase ones are minor. Then we have D minor. The third is E minor. The fourth is F major. The fifth is G major. The sixth is A minor. And then the 7 is B diminished. All right, so the minors we indicate with a little M written next to them. Tiny little M there. Okay, so you've got your C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and then your B diminished. Now, we used our little formula there to let us know which ones are major and minor. What we would usually do is we'd actually write out our major scale and then apply the formula to that. So C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, and then you see, okay, C is a 1, so it must be major. D is the 2, so it must be minor, and so on. And that way you can know exactly which chords need to be major and which ones need to be minor. All right, so that is how they work, and that's just so you guys can have a common understanding. All right, now how we apply them is the big thing, and that is when we create things, we have things called chord progressions. So that's a series of chords that we play together, and they give you a certain feel or a certain sound. And you can create songs this way. So if we take, let's say, 1, 4, 5, and 1. So C, F, G, and then C again. Let's put those together. Well, I'll just strum them one at a time for now. So you have a C, going to an F, going to a G, going to a C. Alright, so they sound pretty good together. If we add a strum pattern to it. Alright, it sounds like a song. You got something there. Let's take another one. We'll do 6, 4, 5, and 1. So we have a 6, which is A minor. Then we have a 4, which is 5. Which is F. Then we have a 5, which would be G. And then we have a 1, which is C. So you can hear this progression sounds a little darker. It has a bit of a more somber tone to it. Alright, sorry, I started on the wrong one there. So A minor, to your F, to your G, to your C. Alright, so if I put a little strum pattern to that, let's hear what it sounds like. So that's our A minor to F, to G, and then to C. Alright. So let's use our imaginations here for a second. Let's say we had a guitar player playing exactly what I was playing there. So we'd call him the rhythm guitar player. So he'd play those chords. Then you could have another guitar player or another instrument even using the major scale to create a melody right on top of the chords that the first guitar player is playing. And that's how we start to create music together. Most bands work this way. Classical music, it doesn't even matter what style. You'll have somebody playing the chords. It might be the piano player or even the bass player holding down the root notes is what we call them. And then you have somebody else playing a melody or singing a melody on top of that. And so that is how we say harmony works, all right? So you have people playing your chords, your fundamental notes, and then somebody else might be playing a melody right over that. I know I'm over-explaining it, but I really want you guys to understand it. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope it all makes sense to you. Again, you guys are more than welcome to ask any questions or contact me if you are not sure about something. You're more than welcome. I hope you guys have a good one. Cheers.